approaching the end of the year, a time to review and reflect on what's gone, but also a time to then think ahead, to look to the following year, to plan and to get things in place to make sure next year is more successful than the current year. But how do we do that? How do we plan for the year ahead? Well, today I'm going to share with you 10 questions that will help you to plan and be successful in the year ahead and every year after. Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel that helps you to save time and optimize your energy so that you can do what matters most. Now, when we talk about planning, what we're really talking about is moving from one state to another state as quickly and as efficiently as possible over a period of time. So today I'm going to share with you a number of questions that kind of fit in with that journey, and we're going to split this journey down into 3 parts. Part 1 is really questions that help us understand the purpose of our journey. Part 2 is questions that will help us look after ourselves well on the journey, and part 3 is questions around how to navigate the journey well. So I'm going to share these questions with you, and then there'll be a bonus question at the end that will help you when you encounter barriers or times of trouble. So let's get into things. So the first stage is to look at the purpose of the journey. So why you're undertaking it in the first place, what is the ultimate destination you're trying to get to? So the first question you should ask yourself is, what is my purpose in life? Now that is quite a big question and will require some in-depth looking at. But until you answer that question, you're going to find the whole aspect of going on a journey towards something very difficult to plan if you're not sure what your overall goal is. So as an example, here's one of my life goals, which is to be remembered as a person who successfully helped people embrace and live out all that God has called them to be. So that is an overarching statement, if you like, for me, but something that I always want to draw back into to make sure everything I'm planning and doing outworks well and relates to that overall life purpose. The second question to ask yourself is, what would success look like for me at the end of this year? Now this is a visualization exercise for you to kind of fast forward and to look back as though you're standing there a year on and thinking, this is what I want to have achieved by then. So basically you ask yourself that question and write down all the things you want to have achieved by then that relate to your life goal, and then you prioritize them in the order in terms of the kind of things that are going to contribute most to your life goal. The third question to ask yourself is, what is the most important thing? Now, when we've put down our kind of goals and everything for the year, what we tend to do is put down a lot of goals. There'll probably be too much to achieve. That's just a natural thing that we'd tend to do. But what's important to do within this is put down and highlight what the most important thing is. Ultimately, success will be determined at the end of the year or end of the period by you in terms of what was most important to you and whether you achieved that or not. You can achieve a whole lot of things, but if you didn't achieve the most important thing, then you'll be disappointed in some way. So it's best at the outset to really highlight and start, if there's one thing you were going to achieve in that year, the most important thing, what would it be, and put that kind of front and center in your planning. The next stage we need to look at is how you're going to look after yourself and care for yourself on this journey. And so the first question to ask yourself is, who are you going to take with you on this journey? Now, when we're trying to achieve things, we can't do them alone. We need people around us to help us, to look after us, to be with us, to hold us accountable. And so you've got to decide at this point really who's going to be a part of your community to help you on this journey. And as a minimum, you're really looking at 4 types of people that you need. You need a coach, you need a mentor, you need a friend, and you need a cheerleader. The next question to ask yourself is, what does my ideal week look like? Now, the purpose of asking yourself this question is to make sure that you have a sustainable rhythm in place for working, resting and playing that you're able to, I suppose, implement in order to achieve the goals that you have for the year. But it's important to plan this ideal week into things. So often we can set our goals and we just, run off the line as quickly as we can, and by the end of the first quarter we're burnt out and worn out. But implementing a sustainable rhythm to your week is therefore critical if you want to achieve your goals. In terms of caring for yourself, the final question to ask is, in terms of energy, when are my best times in the day? Now, what you want to be doing is making sure you're doing the most important things at your best times of the day. So the things that are going to really achieve your goals throughout the year, you want to be doing at your best times in the day. But so often we get this wrong. We just give ourselves a list of tasks to do throughout the day and we just get them done in whatever order, not taking into account when we're at our best energy wise. And so it works the other way as well. When you know you've got a real, it might be the afternoon when it's your worst energy time, don't try and be creative in those times. Put low level admin tasks or whatever in there. And by asking yourself that question, though, you're caring for yourself because you're doing the most important things at your best time. So give that a go and ask yourself that question. So on to navigating the journey and questions that we should ask ourselves. Perhaps begin with this: what is essential? Now, so often when we're planning things and there's a journey ahead of things that we're going to achieve, we try and take everything with us. We try and cover all eventualities off, whether that's in an emotional sense, a physical sense, a spiritual sense. But when you embark on a journey, you do have to leave some things behind and only carry forward what is essential for that journey ahead. Otherwise, you just get bogged down and you don't make any progress, you become paralysed. So perhaps the first question to ask yourself then is, what is essential for this journey that I'm undertaking? The next question to ask yourself is, what do I need to learn? Now, when you're going on a journey and trying to achieve new things, you perhaps won't have the skills or the qualities you need to achieve them. You're going to have to learn some new things. So it's important when you're planning to make space for that and maybe note down the key skills that you feel you need to learn over this period in order to achieve the goals that you want to. So the final question to ask yourself in terms of navigating the journey is, what are the first steps I need to take and the first milestones I need to hit? Now, when we're planning things, we can plan things in a lot of detail, but that can add and lead to a paralysis or just being overwhelmed with all that's ahead. But the most important things to put in place first are those first steps and those first milestones. They will help set the trajectory and help set momentum as you achieve them. And it's better really to go next action, next step, next milestone and think that way in order to be progressive than it is to outline everything and just be overwhelmed with it. So get those first steps and those first milestones in place when you plan. So there you have it, 9 critical questions to ask yourself that will help you plan the year ahead. Now, I promised you a bonus question, and it is this: when you're faced with difficulties or barriers or things haven't gone the way you think they should, then ask yourself the question, what does this make possible? This question reframes everything into a positive light to allow you to take and look at the opportunities that your circumstances have led you to. So remember this question, ask it always, what does this make possible? So on to my challenge or action for you, and it is simply this: to incorporate some of these questions into your planning process for the year ahead. I promise you they will make a difference. They will mean that your planning process is far more targeted and likely to be more successful, and ultimately you should end up doing what matters most to you. Now, if you need more help in trying to plan the year ahead, then why not try this? So I've got some exciting news. In the next couple of months, I'll be launching a course to help you do what matters most. It will help you to plan well. It will help you to set goals for your year. It will help you to put in place a life rhythm that will help you achieve your goals. It will help you manage your time and energy and ultimately help you to be fruitful. So sign up using this link here and you'll get a 25% discount off of the course fee, and you'll get exclusive content sent your way. But you must sign up before the course opens in order to get these discounts and these bonuses. So do sign up, and I'll look forward to showing you this course pretty soon. So that's it for today. If you found this video helpful, then please check out these videos, subscribe to the channel, and remember, be fruitful, and I'll see you in the next video.